we have to assume, if we're business owners, that labor shortage and inflation will be with us for the near term. And how we deal with that as a business will ultimately impact our community.
BusinessJournalDaily.com. 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
What are the main factors that are influencing what we've seen in the economy this past year?
So there's been a lot of unintended consequences of not only the shutdown, but the reopening. So the factors that we're seeing play a huge part with the local business community. Labor shortage is at the top of the list. Inflation is right behind it. Those two factors, and I'll delve into it during the presentation, are the largest factors right now going on, which is affecting the local community and then ultimately the overall business community.
What are the key sectors that seem more likely to recover more quickly in the coming year?
So I look at it from labor intensive versus capital intensive. To the extent that labor shortages remain an issue, our labor-intensive industries, such as hospitality, will continue to have headwinds. Those who are automating, those who are investing, whether it's manufacturing or otherwise, should come out of this a more efficient business line.
What opportunities are there in the coming year locally?
I think it comes down to investment. I think we're all making do from a productivity standpoint with the headwinds that we've seen. Those who are succeeding are those who are taking the initiative to invest in new processes. So that's one of the offshoots of a recession, is that things get done better if you invest properly. And we're starting to see that here and in other parts of our footprint.
Now, when we talk about investment, we've heard a lot about the federal legislation, the Build Back Better plan, the infrastructure plan that's being discussed at the federal level. How dependent is the economy on those things being put into effect, or what opportunities are there overall?
My understanding of the Build Back Better, and this is just my personal opinion, is that the dollars which would be invested overall, it would be over a period of several years. So I don't look at that as being the impetus to take us further over the next couple of years. I think the more interesting component will be how this dollars and how this bill is paid for. What are the impacts from tax increases or other forms of revenue generating policy which will come out of this? But regardless of what it happens, I don't believe, in my personal opinion, that it will be the key to success going into 2022.
I guess what is the key then?
I think the key to success is managing these headwinds. And I do fall into the trap of it's investment. It's learning how to do things better. We have to assume, if we're business owners, that labor shortage and inflation will be with us for the near term. And how we deal with that as a business will ultimately impact our community. I think those are the factors that we should be more focused on.
I guess overall, what can we look for in 2022?
So I think from a policy standpoint, there will be some changes. We've held a very loose monetary policy. The Fed met last night and they discussed what their plans were for 2022. I would expect going into next year, you would see a little bit of normalization of policy. The knock-on effects will be interesting to see because we've gotten so used to, as an economy, very loose, cheap money. So seeing how that plays through would be a very interesting theme for 2022.
Thanks for watching the video. Be sure to like, subscribe, and hit that little bell for notifications. And also make sure to connect with us on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. For all of your business news, visit BusinessJournalDaily.com. For all of your arts and entertainment news, go to AfterHoursYoungstown.com.
BusinessJournalDaily.com. 3 Minutes With is brought to you by Farmers National Bank.
I like a bank that's a pillar in my community.
I like a bank so cutting edge, they have a lab branch.
We are so alike.
Well, we do both bank at Farmers National Bank.
Farmers.
Stand strong.